Hey everybody, welcome back to From Under the Rug, the channel that shows a new side to those you may have had respect for. This time we're taking a look at a group of men that have had some very shady pasts. It wouldn't make as much sense to do separate videos on them, as they are all fairly similar, so I'm going to be putting them all together here as they have a connection. That being that they have all worked in Nickelodeon before. What exactly did they all do and what could have been done to prevent it? Let's take a look at each one individually. The first of the guys in the group employed is Ezell Channel. In 2005, he was working there and was assaulting a child in the studios while shows were being made. He was arrested before the end of the year and does not work there right now. You would think that would be obvious that they wouldn't hire someone with that kind of past to begin with, right? Well, you'd think, but it turns out, before he was hired, he had already been known to be doing similar actions to someone else around the same age as the victim in 2005. If the company had taken a look at this beforehand, this could have been prevented completely long before there was any potential risk at all. The second one here is the actor-coach Brian Peck. He worked on shows like All That and Drake and Josh, but is not related to Josh Peck. He was a very similar story here, assaulting a minor while he was working and was not allowed to work directly with children. Keep in mind I said directly with children afterwards, as there is a bit of a difference after his arrest compared to the first. He served 16 months for his crimes in 2004, but once he was out, he was able to work, as he worked on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody about 2 years after his arrest. As to how Disney came to that conclusion, I can't really understand, as like the last case, they're hiring someone who has a very less than ideal record to their show. Third on the list here is Jason Handy. Again, it's pretty similar to the other two, with doing indecent actions to a minor in his time working there in 2004 as well. It's getting to be a little bit more predictable of a pattern here, with guys taking advantage of their positions, but it's still important to mention regardless. Don't take me saying it's repetitive as any less important. No story should be glossed over just because there's less sticking out compared to the rest. After that, he had some new charges in 2014 for similar crimes, just not at Nickelodeon anymore. I am sorry if I'm seeming like I'm just kind of going through these very quickly, but there isn't really much more I can elaborate on that isn't just repeating what I've been saying all over again. I just don't want to have 3 or so stories being the exact same thing and giving the same details in the same way. I don't really, again, I want to seem like I'm glossing over anything important. The fourth one on the list here is Marty Weiss. This one starts out the same, but after the person had came out about what happened, it goes a little bit differently as he thinks that there are more victims. An actor came to the police about what happened to him at Marty Weiss's house, and stated that other boys were where he had lived at some point just like he was brought over there. And though I haven't seen any confirmation from them, so I cannot say this is very surely true as well, it does seem at least plausible due to their very similar stories with the same person. In a conversation during his arrest, he did admit to sexual contact, and he let everyone off from being represented by him. While again, I can't find anything from others that the victim had mentioned, it doesn't seem like it's very difficult to come to the conclusion that there is more than one victim to him in this story. The last story in this Nickelodeon quintet I have here is the most known so far, Dan Schneider. Now, this is a little bit different in that there isn't an actual arrest on him, but there are some very incredibly telling signs that shows that he's not really far off from the rest. I can't say for absolute certain he's hurt anyone like the rest, as my rules I made in my first video prevent that without citable evidence, but what I can do is make comparisons to the rest of them. First off, the foot issue that's been going around. For quite a while, it's shown that he's been liking feet in a really weird way, and there's no doubt about that. If you take a look at all the tweets he's made on his Twitter account and such, it shows how much of a problem he has, and how much they've showed up on kids' shows that he's been working on. There's no denying he has a problem with it, especially with bringing kids into it and showing them on television. Then there are the rumors. I can't confirm the level of truth to these, but there are 2 main rumors that are going around. That being Amanda Bynes from The Amanda Show, a show on and about the 90s in Nickelodeon, was a victim to him, and Jamie Lynn Spears from Zoe 101 being one as well. Considering how Amanda had some problems visible on her Twitter account and elsewhere that would line up to him working on the show with her, and the father of Jamie Lynn Spears' child being unconfirmed to many people so far, the speculation at very least makes him sound just like the other 4 guys in this video. Again, I'm not saying that he is for sure doing these kind of things, except for the foot part, because I have proof that based on the tweets that I've been showing you on this video so far. I'm just saying, based on his association with the rest of the guys, being flat out working with them in person on various projects, it's very likely that he is just the same as the rest of them as well. So, what could have been done to prevent all of these events from happening? Well, if Nickelodeon had properly done checks on the group, less people would have been victims. If Disney didn't hire Brian Peck, it would have shown that they actually look at their past, but didn't here, or just didn't care. If the ones at a higher position than Dan had looked at everything that had came out, there wouldn't be as many rumors that go in line with all the others that sound so similar to those that are guilty, and would have been taken care of much more quickly than just now. But do you want to know what would have completely stopped everything? If they weren't predators at all. So be careful if you're working into the industry like Nickelodeon. They all have kids of interest, but some of them want to abuse instead of entertain. My sources for this video are the YouTube video that I found these guys from by Revenge of the Sis, so I recommend watching that video as well, and the rest of the links are ones that prove the authenticity of their criminal activity, so check them out if you want to read more. That's all I have for this video. If you have any more information on them or any other stories you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.